No vocal warm-ups. We don't need to do anything. We did our 5 minutes of yapping before the session, and we're back. Welcome back, everybody. 10 years we've been using that. It's going to keep going for the rest of our lives.
I mean, that's theater for you.
Yep. Well, welcome back, everybody, to John Talks to Lamb and Lamb Talks to John. I am John. I am he.
I am not he, I am him, Lamb.
Iconic. The iconic intro. Great job.
I'm what they call peak.
Yeah.
Not the video game, which is also pretty fun.
You've been telling me about how much fun you're having in that game. I have a couple of
I've
friend
played
groups
it,
that are really into that.
I think a total of two different sessions, and that's it. I've been in this weird state where I don't play games with my friends again. But I also haven't been playing games in general.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I play with my roommates, but that's, I don't know, it's different to play with them versus like other friends.
Yeah, sure.
But like a lot of the time, I know I've talked about this before. A lot of times, the games that my friends want to play, I'm like, oh, these are fun for like every now and again.
Yeah.
But like these are games that they're stuck on, and so it's like I don't really want to play this right now because like I get burned out from those games pretty fast. Like it was Phasmophobia, then it was Content Warning and Lethal Company. And now it's
just like going down the really whatever's popular at the moment on Twitch, kind of.
Pretty much.
That's interesting.
And it reached a point to where I stopped buying games. Because every time we buy games, we'll play it for maybe a couple months and then we just drop it.
Yeah. That's where you have to start. You got to go with the $1 1 hour mentality, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, what is your entertainment worth in monetary value?
Absolutely. And like the I guess group or like party games that I want to play or like that I've suggested, I would buy them and be like, hey guys, we should play this, and then we just never end up playing them. So I was like, and like it's not like it costs a lot of money. Like at most it'd be like $5 or something.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like, dang, I bought this and I've still yet to play it. So unless I have confirmed that other people will play a game with me, I won't buy it anymore.
Yeah, I like to call that investing in my future fund. Because I will play that game eventually, but at this point, there's like 500 games in my backlog that I am going to play eventually.
Yeah.
And I'm also, trying to watch a bunch of movies and trying to be a human being.
Yeah.
So the odds of me actually working my way through that are steadily going down.
No, I get that. I mean, that's me with just games as well. Because I've got a whole backlog for my Xbox, and a backlog for my Steam account. For my Xbox, that's a lot harder because I have the Series S, which doesn't have a lot of storage on it. I have an external hard drive, but as some of you may know, you tech-savvy boys and girls and otherwise, hard drive is not accessible storage. That's just, oh, I'm putting this away, and then I have to bring it back later. I need to get the other one, the SSD, whatever it's called.
Yeah, those are way faster. They changed the game.
And you can access them as if it's like, oh, I've extended my storage, as opposed to I'm putting it away. So all of my games are on my external hard drive, and unfortunately, I have the games I play right now are Call of Duty, which they have made it to where you have like this hub center that you have to download, and the individual games as well. And that takes up like 80% of my storage.
Yeah, they did that with the Halo, I think the Master Chief Collection. They did. Yeah, you have every game from Halo 1 to Halo 7 or whatever we're on now.
Yep. So that takes up most of my storage space. And then I have Fortnite, which we run every now and again. And then I have Xenoverse 2, which I refuse to put away because that's kind of my baby. So I have those 3 games installed on my Xbox.
Wow, 3 whole games.
And like technically I have more installed.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is if it's specifically for Xbox Series S or Series X, it has to be accessible through the console storage. If it's for any of the previous consoles, you don't have to worry about it being accessible like that. If it's in your external storage, it's fine. You don't have to move it or anything. So I have a lot of like really old or like really indie games that I can access and play. So I'll play those every now and again. The one that I still have yet to beat is still Ninja Gaiden Sigma.
Oh
But
gosh, still
we had
years you've been trying to beat this.
no. Listen. I ended up restarting it, and I got way past that part that I was on.
Oh,
I just
okay.
haven't picked the game back up in like a month or two.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I need to because Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out soon, and I'm
Hmm.
like, dang it, I have to play through all these games before I can play that one. And I've already played through Ninja Gaiden 3 and Razor's Edge. Well, I guess
Right.
technically 3, the same game. So I have to get through Sigma and Sigma 2,
Yeah.
and then I should probably play back through Razor's Edge, and then I'll be good for 4, which I think is coming out this fall.
This is totally gonna derail. So if
Yeah.
you don't want it to, you don't need to. But
Uh-huh.
you mentioning a diary is literally that's one of my 3 talking points. My 3 prepared topics. Have you ever done a diary before? Like a real diary for you?
I've journaled. I haven't had like a specific thing that's like, oh, this is my diary. I write my feelings in this specific thing.
Sure.
But like I journal every now and again, especially back when I was really bad, doing really bad mentally. I would just like open up my phone and my notes app and just start writing about like my feelings and stuff. So I guess technically,
I do
would
remember you
diary.
had like a secret. I don't know if it was an Instagram or a Twitter or something that you would
Oh,
just dump all your feelings onto.
okay, so there's a few things there. Okay, so let's go back to the early days.
Oh,
So back in high school, which
yeah.
is when my mental health was bad, but also I still lived with family. I still had friends around, so
Sure.
I wasn't spiraling out of control every time.
Okay.
I had my grandma let me have her phone because she had upgraded, and I was like, okay, cool. I think I'd also broken my phone previously, so it's like, okay, it
Ooh.
works.
Yeah.
And so I was using her phone, and so I just remember this specifically. It was my senior year of high school.
Hmm.
Whenever I was not doing good, I would just go into my notes app, write my feelings out. It didn't always make me feel better, but it was like I have a way to express these pent up emotions.
Sure.
And I would share them with one of my friends who really knew how bad I was doing mentally, and she would just be like, "Yeah, you should delete these. Like, it's good that you write them out, but you should delete them so you don't go back and dwell on them, or like you don't go back, read it, and then like spiral back into that mindset or whatever." Never deleted them. They're still on that phone. That phone is broken to hell though. But if I wanted to, I could go try to pull the files from that.
Maybe that'll be a project for you in like when you're 30. You can go back and like meditate on your old.
Oh, I mean, I do it every now and again now, but as I've gotten older, you know, I've been better able at regulating and like despiraling, or what's it called, regrounding myself, and basically like I realize, you know, I'm spiraling right now. I realize I'm not doing good. And like I'll write my feelings, and then as I'm writing my feelings, my brain's already trying to work out why I feel this way, what's been going on, if something caused it, and I'm writing that as I go through. So it might start off as, I feel like shit. Today's a terrible day. I wish I could just lay in bed. But like life is terrible, this and this and that. And then as I'm writing, I'm processing what I'm saying, and I'll just be like, yeah, I mean, life does suck, but I mean, it's been worse, let's be honest. And last time things were like this, I guess this is what I did. So maybe this is why I feel this way. And I'm writing all this out. I'm not just thinking about it. So I'm actively processing my emotions at this time. Back then, not so much. Then we go to freshman year of college. Excuse me, my outlet for that was my Snapchat story.
Is that what it was?
Well, that's one of the things.
Okay.
And it's really bad. I've definitely lost a lot of friendships because of it, because it's one of those things where people don't want to be surrounded by that negativity.
Oh no, I understand.
And like before, you know, when you're in that headspace, you're like, oh my god, everybody hates me, nobody likes me, blah blah blah. As I've gotten older and I've gotten out of that headspace, and I've like done a lot of reflections and realizing, I realized like I see people do that too, and I'm just like, good lord, was I like that? I mean, I hope they feel better soon, but I respectfully, I don't know if I could reach out, because it really does like plague your mind, and like, what's it called? It like eats away at you when somebody else is going through it, and you try to help them out, and they're just stuck. And you're like, especially when they're stuck somewhere and you're past that already, and you're like, this is what I did, but they just can't do it, or they just can't bring themselves to do it. And so it's like, I've done all I can right now. Either I have to keep pushing and risk things just getting worse for either of us, or just say what I have to say, give them my advice, and just have to hope for the best for them. And I've been doing the latter a lot more, because it's like, like you want to help out, but you also have to protect yourself because it's like a what is it called? I don't
You're
know.
an emotional sponge. You're kind of
Yeah,
sponging
yeah,
up some
yeah,
of
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, very much. It used to be really bad. I used to be
Ooh.
very good at like observing and feeling what other people are feeling, and then ended up being like, dang, I feel terrible right now.
Yeah.
But
You try and
nowadays,
empathize with their scenario, and you're like, yeah, this really does suck. This sucks a
yeah,
lot, man.
yeah.
Ugh.
No, me empathy. We're like this. We're like this. But yeah, so after, a year or so of doing that, because this was also when I felt terrible because I had no family around. My
Mm.
only real friend was Chanel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I made some college friends, but wasn't really attached to them.
Sure.
My situationship at the time, we had broken up, and he
Mm.
had ghosted me. And this was somebody who I ended up dating again, my longest relationship later on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like things did end up working out, and then I guess not working out, but we're still cool. We're friends. But anyways, excuse me. But it was really bad because my brain was like, everybody hates me. Life sucks. I feel so abandoned. Nobody's around. Nobody wants me around.
Oh gosh.
And just it was bad. I wouldn't say I was suicidal because I wasn't.
Right.
But I did not feel good. It was still, this was the year that my GPA, my first year of college, my GPA was a 0.75.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
That's how bad that I got suspended because it got that bad. Or sorry, my first semester was 0.75. My second semester, I was able to get back on the come up and got it to about 1.25, but still not enough because you need a 2.0 to stay enrolled.
My God. So I met you during like the worst year of your life, basically.
Oh yeah, because that winter that we met was the worst year of my life.
That's crazy.
Really bad. But that was also when I started coming back from it, thankfully.
Yeah.
And just started going up from there. But that's so funny. I never thought about that. But what's it called? Yeah. So I eventually, because what I would do, it wouldn't just be like, because people would like put on their story if they're going through something. It'd be a black screen and just straight text, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
life sucks, or like, why can't things be like this? I would do that, but I
The
would
original
also
Google Doc. Yeah. You just
I would also So Chanel, she lived on campus.
Mm-hmm.
I lived on campus, but across the highway at at the athletes living, because that's where they put me because I took too long to pay for my stuff. So they kicked me out of the other place before I moved. So they moved me over there instead. Let me rephrase that.
An upgrade.
Let me rephrase that. I didn't pay my like first payment for my or like my down payment for my dorm.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 weeks before school started, and so I ended up paying the down payment finally. But they're like, you took too long to for this spot, so we had to move you somewhere else, and that's why I ended up in the athletic dorm, which had the best food, by the way.
That is true.
Yeah, and so she lived on campus. I lived across the highway, so I would go from her dorm and walk all the way back because she lived in Kurt. So it was like a 20-30 minute walk every time.
Yeah, that's rough.
And we would just hang out damn near every night. And on my walk back would be my reflection time because I'd be by myself and I'd just be talking.
Oh.
And so instead of just talking it out with myself, I would record myself. I would like turn on the camera and record myself on my Snapchat and put it on my story, and it would just be like 2 to like 10 minutes straight blackness and me just talking about my mental health and trying to work things out with myself.
Wow.
And looking back, I don't want to say I cringe, but I definitely don't feel good that I did that because I literally just put everything out there for people to see. And
pretty vulnerable state.
People did in fact, like after a certain point, just take a step back because they're like, he's going through some stuff. I'm just gonna let him deal with it himself. Because again, it's that whole thing of you see somebody struggling, you can reach out, but if they're at a certain point, it's just like, what am I? And me talking to them, is that even gonna help?
Oh sure, yeah.
And that's the point that I was at. Eventually, I stopped. Thank God. Cause good Lord, dude.
You learn how to internalize and bottle up your emotions. Good job.
No, I'm not you. I mean, I got better at doing that, but I still release them when I need to.
Yeah.
But no, then I started doing the Google Doc stuff. That's because I have a lot of Gmails. So for I have a specific one which I use for spam, specific kind of spam. And I use that one. Shut up. I use that one specifically for whenever I need to journal, but usually whenever it's like when I'm in a very bad place, I'll use it there. But I think before that was I made that third Twitter. I think my third Twitter. I'm not following anybody. Nobody's following it because it's private. And I would just use that as my Snapchat at that time, but so nobody else could see it, so that the same thing wouldn't happen. Because like I started going on my Twitter and just putting it out there like, I'm not doing well, this and this and that. But it's like, it's Twitter. You're not really gonna have a lot. I'm not the kind of person that has like a lot of friends on Twitter. I usually use my Twitter for like fan art, anime stuff, game stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
It's not really for connections. That would be more like my Instagram. And so I made that third Twitter. I did that, and I was like, you know what? This feels good. It gives me that that dopamine or the serotonin of when I was posting on my Snapchat without exposing myself to the world. I completely forgot about that account.
Okay.
Until
like just now? What do you mean?
No. Until like a year later, like I made it like maybe a few months a post like every month or so.
Yeah.
And then for like a few months, and then I completely forgot about that account. And so over a year later, and I was like, wait a minute. Because I think what it was is I was signed into it on my phone, and I had accidentally clicked onto that one. I was like, what is this? And so I clicked onto it, and I was like, oh shit! I completely forgot about this account. And so like I was looking back.
Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because I completely forgot about it. Oh dang! I don't have it on my computer. I don't know if I still have it on my phone. And I was reading through like my tweets, and I was like, good God! Oh yeah, I still have it. Okay, I have it on my phone. And so, let's see. I started it in September 2021.
Okay.
And the first post was, I feel like such a fake friend. I keep putting off hanging out with friends or forgetting, but I'm just so exhausted. I'm sorry.
Good start.
I wrote a lot of things that same day. There was also, I hate when they say it's okay too, because it doesn't feel like it to me. Am I a liar if I give my feelings? Why are all my insecurities coming back again?
Man, that's
I'm sorry. This is September 2021 is when it was. My bad.
Okay.
I hate that I feel like I can't open up anymore. It feels like I'm just being so problematic, and it's always makes people feel uncomfortable, and it makes me start to question our friendship. But I know it's all because I make things uncomfortable for everyone involved. 2021 was also like the year COVID really started hitting me.
Yeah.
Or like the lockdown really started hitting me. So then a year passes, and it's October 2022, and I go, oh, hey, I forgot about this account. Well, it's been a year, and I completely forgot why I was so tormented, honestly. But I can say that we're doing so much better now. Stay strong, and just know that it may feel like such a long time, but it doesn't mean it'll be forever.
You were kind of like, you weren't tweeting to your future self, but your future self is your only audience to this.
Yeah, essentially.
It's interesting.
Okay, I did use it again in November. That's the next month that year. But that was more so me talking about some trauma that I will not talk about on this podcast because it is very, very personal things.
I did not expect me asking you if you journaled to lead to us reopening up your Twitter wound.
Yeah.
I only brought it up because I have been thinking, I've now dabbled for like 3 days into journaling.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it's very, I have mixed feelings on it. Because I don't know if I like doing it. It's one of those, I started doing it because I wanted to separate that time before I go to bed, you know? Like, no more screens. I'm just going to try and, what do I do for the last like 30 minutes of my night before I go to bed? And my little magnesium sleeping supplement helps me, you know, actually go to sleep for the night. And they suggested reading. I was like, okay, I could read, but that doesn't. My ADHD is too bad these days that I can't read.
Yeah.
But I can. I found out that I could lock in and write. So in order to stop writing on my computer and so getting blasted by the blue light, it's like, well, what if I wrote like by hand? And the only way that I could really imagine doing that is if it was a journal, because I wasn't going to try and creatively write on something like D&D when I have an entire
no, because then you just have to transfer that later. Yeah, it's like, I get it. Trust me.
I was like, I'm not doing that. So I will do personal writing. I'll do personal journaling and see how this, see if maybe it does some good for me. And I think I'm on day 3, or maybe yesterday was 4. And it's been mixed results. It's like I'm enjoying the writing process. I'm not enjoying getting ink all over my hands again.
Use a pencil.
I don't know. I could, but then I get graphite all over my hands. I wish I was left-handed. But no, sorry. I wish I was ambidextrous. That way, when I'm writing on the left page, I'm using my right hand. When I'm writing on the right page, I'm writing on my left hand.
So when you write, hold on. So you're writing, right? I'll grab this. So when you write, you have your hand on the page like this?
Yeah, for the most part.
So that, okay. See, because when I write, how do I write? Hold on. I guess, yeah, no, I also write with my hand on the page, but my hand, it's hard to do upside down. My hand goes below the area. I don't get anything on me.
Well,
that's interesting.
I've had a couple of ways that I've been trying to, because this is a pretty newer problem to me. I've been trying out some different methods, but really one of the main things that I wanted was, because I have a habit of really quickly writing when it's handwritten, and it starts to become illegible really fast. So I have to
like
slow.
How you type.
Yes. Luckily, spell check helps me like crazy for that.
Yeah.
And so I don't have to worry about that. I can type as fast as I want, and the computer just kind of knows what I'm thinking. But when I'm doing it by hand, I literally have to slow down and anchor my hand to the page so that I can write out these letters slower. So it takes me longer than it probably should, but it's more legible at the end of the day than if I was taking a longer, or if I was just writing it down quickly.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that.
That does, make my hand real smudgy by the end of it. And I literally have to, whenever I write a line, I try and back off from that line, let the ink dry for a sec, and then continue onwards.
That's probably a good idea, yeah.
But
or you can start skipping spaces at that point.
No. I don't want to burn through this book that fast. I don't actually know how many pages there are, but I don't think there's a year's worth.
Yeah, probably not.
Although, to be fair, I did start this in July. So I only have half a year before I should probably...
Are you only doing a page each time?
I'm doing 2 pages, so it's left and right.
Gotcha.
That way it's parsable and readable,
A few comments. One, I think you should keep at it. Don't stop. Because who knows? Because for me, journaling can be a very reflective experience, because whether it's me talking about what I'm feeling or what I'm going through in the moment,
sure,
or if it's me reflecting on something then and there, I can always look back at it later and be like, okay, I see where my head was at. I'm not in that same space now. So what's happened since then, or what can I do differently next time, etc., etc. Or it could just very much just be like you're just talking about your day. You could even be talking to yourself. It's very nice to journal. It's very good. I think it's very beneficial for everybody, especially those who struggle with mental health. Because it also allows you to process as well as express certain things that you normally wouldn't, because you're only talking to yourself. But some people, they have problems, or they just choose not to, or they just can't verbalize things. They like to compartmentalize things and put it away on a shelf until it eats away at them and explodes later, John.
Don't call me out. How dare you? I'm being vulnerable by admitting that I'm even journaling. How dare you?
All I'm saying is you have flaunted the Wilson way for how long? And the Wilson way is just compartmentalizing your feelings and keeping it pushing.
Yeah. That's what I will say that is one of the things that I feel like this is helping me with already, because I'm not trying to talk about like, oh, what happened today, like I woke up and I worked or blah blah blah, right? It's also this was an absolutely terrible week to start journaling and be like, this is what I did today. And we'll get into that later, I'm sure. But it's been more like, how did I get to where I am today? I'm like reflecting on life so far, approaching 30. I figure it's a good time to start.
Don't say that.
Working. What do you mean? It's true.
Don't say
it's
that.
Accurate.
We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I still got a couple of years before that kicks
some
in.
of us are young and beautiful. Not me. I'm about to be 27.
Hey, man. All I can tell you is that I spent two nights, technically 3 days, in the hospital this week. Not for myself, thank God. But I am very quickly finding out that I am not as young as I used to be.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to experience at only like 20, late 20s.
Yeah. I feel like our generation, especially, we've already been through a lot of things, and I feel like our bodies might be aging a little bit more rapidly because we've been through a little bit,
It's certainly possible. Yeah. I think there's a wall that a lot of people hit. And I don't think I've hit this wall of, oh, I'm old. But I did notice those 2 days, 2 days. This was more like, so the nights that I spent in the hospital, the reason I was in the hospital, for context, is that my grandmother was in there for more routine kind of old people stuff. That is a long conversation. That'll get me really off topic. But suffice to say, she spent 3 days in the hospital, 2 nights, and me being kind of the main person that's handling that means that I'm the one that spends the night in the hospital with her, because she's blind and can't really do anything, and would have to be calling the nurse in pretty much constantly. I used to be able to, if I could go prone, I could go to sleep. And I was so happy with that. Because a lot of people I knew, like my mom, for example, has always had problems falling asleep. It's just something, well, really a lot of my people in my family have that problem of going to sleep. So I've always been very happy that since I've been tracking data with my cool little smart ring here, my sleep, I think it's called efficiency. When I try and go to sleep to when I'm asleep is like top of my range. And I love that. I could just zonk, and it's great. Now, granted, there are times when I can't do that, and my mind is kind of racing, and but that's mainly due to me not having properly prepared for that moment, right? I didn't have that hour of wind down time where I take some magnesium or go brush my teeth, take a shower, and then an hour after this process, I'm asleep. That's usually what it does, and it helps me every time. It's awesome. I recommend everybody does that. I wasn't able to do that for 3 to 4 days this week, because 2 of the days I was in the hospital. So literally got 3 hours of sleep each night, sleeping on a chair that folds out into a bed, which sounds nice because I'm prone and I could go to sleep. But you're also in a hospital, so there's people moving around all the time. It's a foreign environment. There's noises happening, and there's doctors that literally come in to wake you up and check on you and then leave. I don't know why they do that. Doctors. But
they check on you or check on your grandma?
They check on the patient. Yeah. But they come into the room, and they serve their warrant on the door, come inside and be like, "Hey, is everything going okay? It's 4 a.m. Just thought I'd check on you." And my grandma's like, "What? Yeah, I'm fine." And I'm over there like, "She's fine. I'm fine too. Thank you for asking. Please leave. I want to go back to sleep." And then I do, for like an hour. And then the next person comes in and does something like takes blood in the middle of the night. So it's just chaos.
They're doing their job, man.
I know. I have nothing against it. Their environment is their environment because
except for when I'm trying to sleep.
I would love to keep sleeping. I love sleeping. Sleeping is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
But that was rough. 2 of the 3 days this week. Then the 2 days before that, I barely got really any sleep because my grandmother was leading up to going into the hospital. And so she, being blind, can't really tell what time it is. And so she'll call me at like this is what happened, for example, right? I try to go to bed at midnight. That way I can wake up at 8 a.m., start my day, and then, work for 10 hours or whatever I do that day. And then, do what I need to do at the end of the night, do it, rinse and repeat. So I go to bed at midnight. I get woken up at 1 because my grandma calls me. And she's like, hey, I'm having some problems with this piece of equipment, this medical thing that I'm working on. And I'm like, all right, cool. Go in there, right? Help her out. Try and go back to bed. Can't go back to bed because it's now 1 a.m. Really, it's now 2 a.m. And I'm like...
It threw you off your rockers.
It threw me off my rockers. So that night, right, let's say this is... She got back on Friday, so this was Thursday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Monday night. That was when this started. Monday night, woke up at 1, went back to bed like around 4, I think. And then she called me at 5:30.
Oh no.
And was like, hey, I'm still having another problem with this same piece of equipment that I had fixed earlier in the night. And so I'm like, okay, all right, go back in there to help her out with the thing, and then like go back to bed, pass out for a couple of hours. And then I think I wake up at 8 o'clock because that's usually when I wake up. And that's when my internal alarm is like, hey, time to wake up. So then I am awake. That my day has started, right? So I slept for like 3 to 4 hours on Monday.
Yeah.
Not too bad. That's okay. I will make it up on Tuesday. I could do that. Turns out I couldn't do that because I had just a really bad night myself. Couldn't go back to sleep. And so I ended up sleeping 4 to 5 hours that night, right? As opposed to my usual 8 to 9. So Monday, didn't really sleep. Tuesday, didn't really sleep. Wednesday, my grandma was like, hey, I think I need to go into the hospital because this is a problem that I've been having. This is a problem that I tried to sort out on Monday. We couldn't really sort it out. So Wednesday, she's like, I think I'm going to go into the hospital. I'm like, all right, let me know either way, because she was sort of on the fence. Didn't really sleep super well that night because, again, she woke me up at like, I think it was somewhere around 1 or 5 in that same range again. So didn't really get to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the housekeeper that she's had for like 20 years also comes on Wednesdays to help her do stuff at the house, and so that again, wakes me up at like, again, 8. That's why I've scheduled my time to wake up at 8. So I wake up again at 8 and have to work my regular 10-hour shift on like 5 or 6 hours of sleep over the last 3 days.
Good Lord.
And then, thank God for my cousin, he ends up being the one to take her into the hospital that night. And so I get to work my full shift. And then I'm like, okay, do I need to come in and sleep in the hospital? Because I can and I will. But I would also love to sleep one night of this week fully at the house. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
And I was like, but the message that I sent was like, hey, do you need me to come sleep in the hospital? I can, if you need me to. And the answer that I got back was, you never know what might happen.
Oh, no.
That's not a yes. That's not a no.
No.
That's
That's well, if you want to, I wouldn't mind if you did.
Yes. Yes. It's like a gaslight me into getting, like, being feeling bad enough about myself, feeling guilty enough that I'm like, well, I have to go in now. And so
what if I don't?
Exactly. But this was me communicating through my cousin. So I sent my cousin a text. I'm like, hey, does she want me to come sleep in the hospital? I will. His response was that, and I just sat there for 10 minutes. I didn't respond. I couldn't, because my first text was far too rude. I couldn't send it. I drafted it out and I went, I'm not this person. This is not who I am. Deleted the entire thing and then just sat there and went,
been there before.
What is patience? I wrote this down, by the way. I have 3 topics today: journaling, hospital, and what does patience mean to you? I wrote this down in this moment because I'm like, I need to bring this up on the podcast. Because patience is a virtue. A lot of people like patience. I like to think of myself as a very patient person.
Mm-hmm.
But
in that moment,
I was asking the 10 minutes of reflection that I was just sitting there going, how do I respond to this? I was like, when does patience run out? That was the first question that I asked myself. You say yes. You say yes, absolutely.
I think it's like think of so imagine your life, right?
Okay.
And all of your patience and virtues, things like that.
Yeah.
Think of it as like you're in a video game and they all have bars.
Okay.
Patience definitely runs out, but it is able to regenerate over time. I think it regenerates faster than some other things.
Yeah.
But you just need some time to not be patient. You need some time to recuperate. You need one turn to just defend and rest, and then it'll refill maybe like halfway.
That's beautiful. That is unbelievably spot on to exactly what I thought in that moment. I was like, my patience meter ran out when I got that text back.
Man.
That was the bottom of my patience meter. So I took 10 minutes and I just thought, I was like, okay, I know why I had that kind of outburst, because I ran out of patience.
Mm-hmm.
I need to take these 10 minutes to refill my patience bar as physically high as it goes, because I know I'm going in. I mean, I knew before I sent the text I was going into the hospital.
Oh, I can raise my hand.
Then I got that back. Then I got the text, killed my patience meter, and I went, okay.
I took 10 breaths.
I took some breaths. I did some deep breathing. I did some internalizing. I did some bottling, and then I went, okay, I'm going to come into the hospital.
I think instead of running out, I think you ran out of patience. But as your special, or I think as humans, one of our special abilities when it comes to patience is we can take our other, or whenever patience runs out, we can use it. You can use whatever's remaining to drain from our other abilities.
Oh,
that because if your patience was truly just gone, I think you would have just blew up right there.
That's very possible. Well, I don't think I'd blow up.
You know what? No. That goes into your self-control meter. That's what it
true.
is.
I mean, okay, I won't say I don't blow up, because I have, oh my God. Okay.
Oh no.
I can tell you a moment that I blew up. Well, no, I can tell you a moment that I held myself back from blowing up. Okay. This week. Or it was either this week or it was last week. But it's kind of in a blur. My grandma has a lot of medications that she has to pick up, right? Oh, that she needs picked up. And that usually falls to me or somebody else in the family. Last week, okay, this did start last week. Last week, we went to pick up one of her meds because Walgreens, the pharmacy that she uses, said they sent us a text. They'll send us, right? We have your meds available for pickup. They sent that text. So we went and tried to pick it up. Because when we got there, what they said was, hey, your meds are ready, but we don't have them.
So they're not...
They're at another pharmacy nearby. No. Sorry, that was step 3. I skipped ahead. We went over there and because they had said we have meds available for pickup, and they went, well, yeah, we do, but we don't actually have them. And so we were like, what does that even mean? They had run out. I don't know what had happened. They'd given her supply to somebody else. I don't know. But we reorganized it and we're like, hey, well, what about the other ones in the area? We've done this before where you can send it to them and we could pick it up from another one nearby. There's 4 Walgreens in the area. Surely somebody has it. And yeah, they did. They would take them an hour to do that. But, still fine. She'd get her life-saving medication. And we're like, okay, well, let's just go back to the house and we'll pick it up later. That happened last week. So earlier this week, she got another med put in, right? That got refilled. And so I had to go and be the one to pick it up. And so I went over to our usual spot and I'm like, hey, we got the text. Can I get the meds? And the person on the other side was like, yeah, it's showing your meds are ready, but they're not ready here. They're at this other spot. Well, the problem last week was that they, I don't know, had given them away. They'd run out of meds. The problem this time was, yeah, your meds are ready, but you're at the wrong location. And I went, oh, nuts. Is it because we got an emergency supply at a different spot last week? That must be the reason why. So they went, okay, it's not here, but it's at this other one. And I was like, weird that it would be over there because we didn't use them last week, but whatever. Your system says it's there. I have to trust the system because you're not going to give me the meds. I'll drive over there. It's like a 10-minute drive, right? It's a 5-minute drive to get to the Walgreens. It's a 10-minute drive to get from that Walgreens to the other Walgreens. So I drive over there and I, wait in line. Well, okay, 5-minute drive over to Walgreens, 10 minutes waiting in line, 10-minute drive to the next Walgreens, 5 minutes waiting in line. We're at about 30 minutes in at this point.
Yeah.
And I get through there and I'm like, hey, I'm picking up for this person. And the lady on the other side's like, your meds aren't here. They're at the other one. Not the one that I'd been at. Not the one that I started at. A tertiary location.
That you haven't been to at all.
The one that we had swapped the meds over to last time. That was supposed to be temporary. They said, oh, they're actually over there. And so I was like, okay, that's not what the last person said, but fine. Fine, I'll go drive over there. But I was already rushing because their lunch break was going down. So they take their lunch, I think, from 1:30 to 2. And I was like, I found out they got the text at like 12:45. And so I was like, all right, I got to go over there. So it's 1 now. And now it's like 1:20. By the time I drive the 15 minutes, because it's like this, right? Walgreens 1, Walgreens 2, Walgreens 3 is over here.
Oh, dang. So that's
I was like, that's like a 15-minute drive. So they're going to be closed by the time I get there. It's like, okay, you know what? That's fine. I've been needing to go back and print off this return receipt because I have some clothes that I've been trying to donate and I need to mail them in. And so I went off. I was like, I have been putting this off. I need to go do this. So I went back to the house and messed with the printer for the rest of the 20 minutes that I was there trying to get it to work. Printed off my thing, did the thing, put it back on there. The moment that I backed myself off of the edge of blowing up was on the drive back to the house. Because went to the Walgreens, drove across to the other Walgreens, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Why didn't we just set this up to ship it to the house? I've done this for other people. I've done this.
Should probably do that.
Other things for other meds. So these meds should be on the same thing. Why are they not on the same thing? This is ridiculous. I'm doing this. I'm like burning my life supply, driving around, killing the environment for no reason. But it's fine. It's fine. I breathed. I backed off of the edge of this eruption of death. Went back to the house and then got to burn more of my patience meter, screwing with a printer that I have to replace the ink on every damn time I try and use it because I use it every 5 months. Nobody touches this thing for 5 months so the ink dries out. So I have to get new ink.
Man. You should use it a little bit more than that, man.
I don't have anything to print off.
Just find something.
That's wasteful.
It's more waste when you let it dry out. What do you mean?
Don't get on to me about this. Okay, I'm already feeling
that's not important right now. I apologize.
Not important. I do succeed, manage to print off the stuff. I get my packages and I'm like, okay, it's time to go pick up the thing. So I drive all the way over to this other Walgreens and I pick up the meds. And I'm at each location, I've asked them, hey, can we swap the meds back to the main one, the one that we always use? And the first person says, yes, this can be done, but not by me. The second person was like, yes, it can, but you need to contact your like doctor and have them do it. And I went, that's not true at all. But okay, I'll do that. Drive to the third one and I'm like, hey, the meds are here. Can you reroute them in the future back to this other one? And they went, no, that's not something we can do here. You got to talk to the original person, the original Walgreens, and have them request it from us. It's like, nobody knows what in the hell they're talking about. So I went, screw it. Thank you for the meds. And I drove away. right? And at this point,
man.
I literally shut down because I was like, I felt myself on the verge of just like I couldn't drive and scream at the top of my lungs because I'd get in a wreck. So I was
He
just
was like steam train angry.
Yeah, it was coming out of my ears. I
Oh
was breathing fire, but I was like, deep breaths. I was saying to myself, deep breaths. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're going to get to sleep tonight. Oh my God, you're not going to get to sleep tonight. You're going to be in the hospital. Ho! And so I just turned off for a little while.
And then sometimes.
Yep. And then I went and I went to this little UPS store to drop off my stuff. I've never seen a busier UPS store. So I just sat there in line with my packages and did deep breathing exercises for 20 minutes, dropped off my packages, came back to the house, dropped them off, and then I was done. That was like a 2-hour experience on 8 hours of sleep over 4 days.
Oh my God.
And then she went into the hospital later that day, and I didn't get any sleep that day. Got about 3 hours of sleep that night. Got another 4 hours later, at around 7 p.m. or whatever, I finally got back to the house. And I'm also working this entire time. Thank God for my work from home bullshit, because I'm actually enabled to be able to do this. But it's also mentally draining. I'm exhausted.
Absolutely.
I'm more exhausted. I'm so in the negative at this point. I'm like, I can't muster more than a one-word reply. And I don't want to get mad at the doctors, because the doctors are doing their job and they're helping people.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep coming in and I keep wanting to tell them, please, just let me sleep. Can't do that. Can't do that. Gotta respond positively to everything that they say to me. And finally, at the end of it all, I get back to the house, right? And this was yesterday. This was Friday, right? I get back to the house at I think 8 a.m. maybe, because my mom texts me and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come in and relieve you. Go back to the house and sleep." So I go back to the house and I just crash for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Stuff goes down at the hospital where my mom is. She turns out she had to go and teach some stuff. She had because she's teaches piano and stuff, and so she's trying to find people to replace her. And I'm just oblivious to all this.
Yeah.
So I wake up when she gets to the house, and there's just so much stuff that's been happening in the 2 hours that I've not been at the hospital.
Oh, no.
That she, nothing bad. I mean, she's just, my grandma is being my grandma. She finally gets back to the house later that day, and I'm just zonked.
Yeah.
I did manage to sleep a good 10 hours last night, so I feel a little bit better. But I wrote down my third talking point is I need to put together a hospital survival guide, because there's a lot of people out there that I feel would benefit.
They would not survive.
They wouldn't survive. I have developed a system over time, right? You need to bring a pillow. Don't trust their pillows. Their pillows are bad. Their blankets, not so bad. It'd be ideal if you could bring your own blanket, but at that point, you're packing a suitcase. You need to be more mobile than that.
I mean, if you grab a throw blanket, it's probably fine.
It wouldn't fit in my backpack. I fit my pillow in my backpack, but that's because I have a big backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I could bring the blanket separately, I suppose, but again, your goal is to travel light. I found that you can rely on their blankets. Their blankets aren't bad. The bedding, you're not going to do anything about. You're screwed. You need to bring water and food, snacky stuff, because you're going to need energy when you're in there. You're going to need to bring noise canceling headphones. It's a balancing act, okay? Because you can't use your noise canceling headphones on full noise cancel, because what if you're in a hospital? You need to be able to block out the noises, because
you need to be conscious enough to hear if there's an emergency.
But you need to be conscious enough. So it's such a there's no good. You can't sleep because people are waking you up. So your goal is to get like an hour worth of rest, get that 20 minutes of deep sleep, and then you're awake again. And you will be for a while. And then try and get back to sleep as fast as you can. I made the mistake night 1 of trying to take my sleeping supplement. That was a bad idea. Because that functions by you ingest it, and then it works with your sleeping brain, because when you sleep, your brain kind of scrubs itself.
Yeah.
I think what the supplement does is when it's scrubbed, it helps you get to a deeper, more restful sleep, which is lovely. But when you're not scrubbing,
when you're not sleeping,
all it's doing is making you feel worse.
Yeah.
Because you're like having to resist your own sleep. And so I found out, don't take sleeping supplements. That's bad. Mm-mm. Don't do that. This goes in my survival guide. No sleeping supplements. You're just going to have to suffer through it, because if you take sleeping supplement, you're going to suffer worse. Oof. I'm pretty sure there's a book out there that exists, but it's so personalized to everybody that I need to just write down my hospital survival guide.
Honestly, do it. That's what you start doing instead of journaling, just start doing that.
Yeah, just like, what do you need to do? Okay, so a loved one's going into the hospital. What do you need to do?
So you find yourself on the couch in a hospital room.
Yeah. So that was my entire week, was doing that and trying to muster the energy to also journal at the end of it. And also now I'm not a big complainer. I'm a really big complainer.
He's a very big complainer.
You know what also? The nail at the end of this coffin.
The straw that broke the camel's back even?
I still haven't processed this emotionally. All I did was immediately order with the fastest possible Amazon speed a replacement.
Oh,
because the charger to my laptop finally died. I'll give it credit. It lasted 2 years after my dog savagely chewed it up when she was a puppy. It lasted this long. But it finally kicked the bucket. And I was like, I don't know if you remember this, but when there was a moment that I still remember, because it's the only time that I've ever turned to alcohol to sort out my feelings.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember what moment this was. Okay, what happened?
This was you, me, and my old roommate DJ. We were all sitting together in my room, and the power supply unit to my desktop died. And I was looking at that, trying to troubleshoot it for like an hour.
I think I remember this vaguely.
It turned out that the power supply died. I did troubleshoot that, and I went, oh my God, I don't have the money to replace my power supply. My computer's dead. What do I do? And I went, well, there's nothing I can do right now because I have no money, and I'm not going to go find a job in this moment. But I do have a bottle of hard liquor on the shelf and a lot of cheddar cheese goldfish crackers.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I ate cheddar cheese goldfish crackers. I drank hard liquor, and then I promptly vomited 6 hours later.
Yeah, I think that's the lowest I've ever seen you.
That was the one, it was bad. That happened to me yesterday again, where my power supply, this time to my laptop, ended up dying, and I went, I'm not drinking again. Luckily,
that's growth.
The charger was only like $40 to replace it. The price had gone down since I had to buy a replacement last time.
And you have a job currently too.
And I have a job, so I was like,
you're already on the up and up.
I know. I was like, I compared that to the time that it happened previously, and I was like, this is so much better. My life has improved. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be able to write again tomorrow, because I need to write by tomorrow, because I have a D&D session, and all of my D&D stuff is on my laptop. So I was like, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen.
I thought you use Google Docs, don't you?
I did. Not anymore. I have.
Oh, are you using what's it called?
Obsidian, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wrote everything on Google Docs, but when it got to around 100 and something pages, I couldn't use Google Docs anymore, because it took about 5 minutes to load Google Docs whenever I would try and boot up the project.
Yeah.
And if I had it constantly open in the background, my entire computer would stop functioning because it was having to render this entire 150 pages of writing and another 50 pages worth of images on top of all that. So no, yeah, I got all that off there.
I think that's what I do today.
It's super helpful. It takes a while. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but I mean, once you get all set up, that's crazy. So I had responses to like everything you said.
Yeah,
but they were gonna be about my own experiences and stuff.
Hey, by all means.
Like, for my worst hospital stay.
Yeah.
It was right after high school. One of my friends had a stroke. And me and, or I guess a couple of friends and me, rather, we went and visited her in the hospital. And it was, like, she wasn't speaking. She could barely move. She was still recovering. Right now, she's mostly functional. She can walk, pretty well. Okay. She can speak pretty well. Her memory came back. Or, I don't think her memory was gone, but her memory might have been, like, messed up, I guess.
Yeah.
But we went in there, and so the good thing was, so there was highs and lows. The low was definitely that night stay in the hospital, because we all stayed in the waiting room, and they had the chairs that had like the arms that go down that are wooden, so you couldn't like sprawl out across them. We did have some friends that were small and skinny enough to just wedge themselves between them. I couldn't do that. None of us also brought blankets or pillows or anything.
Yep.
I slept underneath a chair.
Yeah.
It was
have you seen those memes where like at the sleepover you forget to give somebody like a blanket and
that's how it felt.
Yeah, you're Absolutely. Like looking at them sleeping at an empty TV box.
Yeah.
Yep. I've been there.
But the plus side was we went in there, we were all worried or whatever. Her parents were there. And we were all just kind of cracking jokes or whatever. And so she was kind of giggling every now and again. And so then I was like, "Are you guys ready? All right, you ready? It's morphin' time!" Like this. And she like laughs. And so that made me feel really good.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, I still got it.
Yeah. That's a real oh gosh, what's that guy's name? There's a real Robin Williams moment.
Yeah, I'm basic. No. In terms of sleep for this week, I feel you there. My sleep schedule has been absolute dog shit this week.
Yeah. It's a rough week.
I think there's only been 2 days I've gone to sleep before 2:00. I wake up at 7 to go to work. But most days this week I went to bed at like 4.
That's
it's not been fun.
You've been just as miserable. Yep.
I guess the only plus side is on those shitty days, I would come home, take a shower, eat, conk out.
Yeah.
And sleep for like an hour. And those were the days that I ended up going to bed at 4. Because my brain was like, well, we got a little bit of rest, so we can't go to sleep now. Yesterday, though? Yesterday's the first day I got more than 5 hours of sleep.
Oh.
Yesterday,
life-changing.
Jacob picked me up. We went over, we took care of some of our friends' pets that are out of town. Then we came back. I made some food. I had leftover like cheesy sticks from Papa John's that I threw in the air fryer and put some cheese on them. Then I made some grits. And then I made some tea. And so I ate all that. I took a shower and I just laid in bed. And I was at this point it was like 7-ish.
Yeah.
So from 7 to 10, I'm just laying in bed, just on my phone, just dozing off constantly. Yeah. Chanel calls me a few times to talk about some stuff because she's not at home. And so then she ends up making it home finally, and I just pass out at 10:00.
Nice.
I woke up.
You made it that far. That's good.
I woke up at 5:30.
Okay, yeah.
And I stayed up till maybe 6. No, I stayed up till I think 6:30. Passed out again. Woke up when I texted you. So I slept for roughly 12 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the first time I woke up at 5:30, I was like, dang, that sleep was real good. I could get up and do stuff, but like, it's still dark outside. I'm still tired a little bit. Maybe I'll just kind of chill out. I'll just be on my phone a little bit until I fall back asleep. I woke up at 11:15, I think is when I texted you. Or
something
whatever.
Like that. Yeah.
And I woke up and I said, God.
Yep.
I think I got a little too much sleep, but it was, I feel like when we started this, felt like terrible. Feel like I got ran over by a truck. Now, wide awake. We're good. I'm gonna be working on stuff now. That's the one good thing about we're recording right after waking up is I get a chance to actually wake up, and now I'm full of energy.